Okay, well, welcome everybody. Thank you for joining me. So this is where I explain where I'm going to be for the next 4 months, probably until early August. You won't hear from me. So that's what we're going to be talking about. I'm going to be explaining what's going on and answering any questions you might have. Feel free to leave them in the live chat, and I'll get to them. So this is Burns Eye View. My name is Ross Burns. This is Reformed Theology meets culture and apologetics and all things of that sort. Definitely consider subscribing to the channel. Check out the other videos and material that we have on here. Check out also the new blog that I have that I posted, burnseyeView.org. Definitely check that out. It's in the description below. And stick around and that kind of thing. So let's just jump into it. So the big spoiler alert thing, what's all the fuss about? So I joined the National Guard. I'm going to be leaving for Army boot camp next weekend. So that's the plan. That's the thing. That's what's going on. I'll be at Fort Jackson for 10 weeks for basic training, and I'll be at Fort Jackson for my specific job training for another 6 weeks. So that's why you won't see me for a long time. So that's what's going on. Yeah. So again, if you got any questions, leave them down in the description below, and I'll answer them. I definitely can do that. Yeah, for sure. Great. So just a little bit about like how we came to this decision, because it's kind of super random. I'm old. I'm elderly, right? I'm 27 years old. It's not really when you join the military for the first time. Not really a thing that people do. So we were last May, last April. My wife is 8 months pregnant at that point with our daughter, who's adorable, by the way, very cute. And we're trying to figure out what we're going to do. We're trying to figure out how are we going to what we're going to do. We want her to be able to stay home. We don't want to have to both work full time. I'm full-time seminary, full-time working, and she was at that point working 40 plus hours a week as well. So what are we going to do? What are we going to do for money? What are we going to do for income? So then just randomly out of the blue, last April, May, I got contacted by a chaplain recruiter from the Pennsylvania National Guard. And he was just explaining to me, what I didn't even know what the National Guard did, really. I knew it was like the military, but you kind of just hose down hippies or something like that, fun stuff. So yeah, I got contacted by him, and we started talking and everything. He's like, yeah, man, you should definitely check this out. This is awesome. I've been a chaplain in National Guard for a long time, and here's all the cool stuff. So, my wife and I talked about all the pros and cons of joining and what that might look like and everything, and whether that was a good idea for us. And we weighed the pros and the cons. The benefits, what ended up winning us over was really good insurance. It's just a part-time commitment. It's not like a full-time thing. It's going to help pay for the rest of my seminary, which is awesome. I'm going to be able to use the skills that I've gained, doing ministry stuff in church already, and I'll be able to gain new ones as well, skills that I don't have that are going to help me in the future. And it's going to give me a ton of flexibility later on in my life to be able to pursue, Christian ministry and apologetics, and do all that kind of stuff, and not have to worry about like health insurance, because this is just a part-time gig. So yeah, those were definitely the pros, and some of the cons were it's going to be 4 months away for basic training. That's kind of tough. There are possible deployments in the future, or like 6 months, 9 months deployments overseas. Don't know where. Could be Italy, could be Afghanistan. You don't know. And I had to get a haircut, which actually turned out to not be such a bad thing. So yeah, so from there, from April, May, when we started thinking about it, 7 months later, 60 pounds lighter, I joined. I signed up at the end of October. So then what I'll actually be doing, because I know a lot of people had questions about like, what is it you'll actually be doing? What's the job like? So I'm going to be a chaplain's assistant starting out. So not a full-on chaplain, and not anything crazy like infantry soldier or anything like that. So my job isn't a combat job. I'm not going to be going out there shooting bad guys, or hunting down the Taliban or anything like that. But unlike chaplains, because I'm only a chaplain's assistant, I'm a combatant. Chaplains are non-combatants. They don't carry weapons. They don't carry, grenades or anything like that. I'll be a combatant. So, the Geneva protections don't really qualify for me. So I'll be, one of my jobs will be to, on a deployment, is to, help the chaplain with whatever he's got to do, and also provide security for him. Also be his bodyguard, basically, to help him out with everything he's got to do. So that's part of the job. If you're just joining, I'm explaining what's going on, and basically, short story. Long story short is I'm joining the National Guard. I'm headed off to Army boot camp for 4 months. So that's what's going on. If you got any questions about that, now is definitely the time to throw them in the live chat, and I'd love to answer them for you. So then I'm explaining, what that's going to be like, what it's going to be like to be a chaplain's assistant in the Pennsylvania National Guard, in the Army. I'll be enlisted. I won't be an officer or anything like that. So it is what it is. And then what it actually entails is, other than deployments, which could be, every few years or so, 6 to 9 months deployments, that kind of thing. The actual commitment for the National Guard is only 1 weekend a month. You go down and you do a training, and then a 2-week training in the summer every year. And that's it. That's the whole thing. It's a part-time gig. It's pretty great, pretty sweet. It's going to help pay for school. It's going to help give us really good insurance that we can kind of rely on. So my wife won't have to go back to work. I can continue doing my job, going to seminary, and then doing this on the side. And, that's a pretty good deal. Obviously there are natural disasters or riots or hippies that have to get hosed down, all that kind of stuff. So that's all part of it too. And I assume I won't be hosing down any hippies. So all you hippies out there, don't worry. I probably won't hose you. So yeah, then, yes. So someone asked in the chat, just got here. Will you go through basic training? Yes. I'm going to go through the full basic combat training. As a chaplain's assistant, I'm not going to be a combatant, but everybody who's enlisted in the Army all goes through the same process. Whether you're, whether you're going to be artilleryman or, doing HR, you all go through basic training. Yep. So I will be at Fort Jackson for the next 16 weeks. When I was in the Army, I had 3 months of basic training. Yep. Same for me. Yeah. A full 10 weeks. So yeah, that'll be interesting. So I appreciate that question. Thank you. So then just some questions that I've gotten outside of the live chat. Someone asked me, you're a Christian, you're kind of obnoxious about it, and fair enough. Are you afraid of being ordered to do something that contradicts your faith? So, definitely, I'm a little bit worried about that. I don't think that's a huge concern, but so say someone will, say I had to be responsible for officiating maybe a same-sex wedding or something like that, or maybe doing some co-ministry with a person of a different religion, which I'm not really, very, very happy, very friendly with lots of Muslims, but we shouldn't do necessarily ministry together. So what if I ended up in that kind of situation? What if I was told to do something immoral or dishonest? I definitely cross that bridge when we get there. I know there are processes for, formally disobeying an order, which is something that I could see myself doing. If it's something egregious and immoral, there is that option for you to disobey an order. And that's something I could definitely see myself doing. Hopefully won't have to go through that, but yeah, that is definitely a worry that I have. Another question that people ask me, you've got, you're married, you've got a wife, you've got an adorable little 10-month-old baby, and yeah, they're going to stay here. People ask me, are they going with you? But no, they do basic training and your advanced individual training after that. Family doesn't come. So they're going to be away. They're going to be apart from me, which is, that's going to be the hardest thing about the whole experience. That's definitely going to be the hardest thing, being away from my family. But yeah, someone in the chat says, I will tell you that you will have to, that you'll talk to soldiers who are battling with suicidal thoughts. And yeah, that's definitely true. That's something, I know you get training on that, your specific job training. So yeah, that's definitely something. I've heard so many stories about soldiers at basic training, especially, but, after that all the time as well, people, having suicidal thoughts or suicidal attempts. So that's definitely some training that I'll appreciate having. Definitely a good thing. Someone says, "Congrats, Burns fam." I appreciate it very much. Thank you, and I appreciate your prayers as well. If you could keep us in mind. My wife, who's in the chat, says that our baby is 9 months, 9.5 months. So, math rules. You round up when it's half. So I win. Just in case you're wondering, you lose. So the family's not going with me. They're staying here. So I will miss them very much. Do you have to get vaccinated? That's another question I've gotten from a bunch of people. They're interested in like, oh, if you're going to basic training, are you going to get vaccinated and all that stuff? No, we're not going to get vaccinated. And congrats about someone says congrats about the baby. Yes, thank you. I thought you were congratulating us on the Army, but yes, thank you. Our baby is very cute. So thank you for your congratulations. So do I have to get vaccinated? No, I don't have to get vaccinated, which is probably a very good thing. We're all, to get into Army basic training, you have to be young and healthy. And if you're young and healthy, then you should probably be at the bottom of the spectrum for getting the vaccination. So I'm not going to miss it. So one thing that's different about this basic training is other ones is once you get there, you quarantine for 2 weeks. Part of your 10 weeks is a very strange, weird quarantine. They call it the yellow phase now. So there's that. Oh, so someone asked in the thing, you sure about that? The vaccines? I got every shot when I went through basic training. So clarification, I meant the vaccination for coronavirus. Yes, you're definitely right. I will get a ton of vaccines otherwise, but the specific vaccine for coronavirus, I wasn't clear on that. Yeah, so a lot of people ask, am I going to get the COVID vaccine? And the answer is no, I won't get the COVID vaccine. But yes, I'll get a lot of other vaccines if we're wondering about that. So yeah, and then the last question I had ahead of time is, why won't you be posting on social media? People are like, well, yeah, I mean, you're still going to be able to be in touch with everything in your family. And no, so the basic training, they take your phone. You don't have any access to the internet. You don't have any access to social media or to Twitter or to Facebook or anything like that for 10 weeks. So yes, I'll be away from all that, which would probably be it'd be a nice thing to take a break from social media and all that kind of stuff, not to have my phone on me, but I'll have 2 or 3 or 4 phone calls max, and other than that, letters. Just like the good old days, we're doing letters. So that'll be interesting. That's how I'll communicate with my family. Someone in the chat says, when I went to basic training, I miss my family like crazy. You will too. And yes, I think you're right. Yeah, I'm going to miss my wife and our daughter very, very much. Yes. So Spartan Theology asked in the live chat, did I hear basic training? So military? Yes. So for anybody who's joining, I'll be at Army basic training for the next 10 weeks. Joined the Pennsylvania National Guard. So it's only a part-time military commitment, but it requires a full-time basic training commitment. So yes, Spartan Theology. I'm joining the National Guard, which is part of the Army. Yes, so that's what I'll be doing. That's why I won't be here. I'll miss you guys very much. Someone in the chat says you can't eat candy bars. I miss that very much. Yeah, I don't eat a lot of candy bars. The thing I'm gonna miss the most, apart from family, apart from cute squishy baby, the thing that I'm gonna miss the most is coffee. I'm gonna miss that very, very much. I do love my coffee. I'll be without my phone, but I'm definitely gonna miss the coffee. And I've been told that there are ways around that, because in the MREs you get a little like instant coffee packet, so you can do what you want with that. People do a Ranger dip, which sounds pretty miserable. You just take the instant coffee and you put it in your lip. That sounds delicious. So yeah, we'll see that. Spartan says, thanks for your service either way. You're welcome. Yeah, appreciate it, brother. Yeah, we'll see what this is all like. So yeah, embarking on this adventure, basic training for 4 months. I just wanted to, put everybody out there, just know what's going on. We're all on the same page, and if you can keep me in your prayers. Someone asked, is the training in PA? Nope, going down to Fort Jackson, South Carolina. That's where I'll be for the full full basic training and the job training afterwards, the AIT. So for Jackson, South Carolina, that's where I'll be. So yeah, if you have any questions, definitely try and sneak them in there, because I ran out of pre-prepped questions. So if you got any more, then definitely sneak them in there. Just to reiterate, I've got a ton of resources relatively on this YouTube page, and also on the new blog that I started, burnseyeView.org. You can follow me on social media and all that kind of stuff, just to keep updated with what's going on, so you know when I'm back. So definitely consider subscribing to this channel. You can hit the subscribe button and go follow the blog also, that's in the description. Same kind of thing, Reformed theology for culture and apologetics. Someone in the chat says, thank you, Jesus, says, the first few days they make you do a lot of push-ups, so start doing some now. It will help you. Yeah, that is very good advice. Yeah, I've gotten a little bit better at the push-ups and the pull-ups and everything like that. Gotten a little bit better. Still not in terrific shape, but like I said, I mean, this time last year I weighed 240 pounds, so now I'm down to 180. That was a good year for me. So that's, yeah. But you're right, they're gonna make me do a lot of push-ups, and I'm working on it. We'll see how that goes. But yeah, thank you for the advice. I appreciate it, brother. Yeah, well, I mean, with all that being said, thank you so much for tuning in. I'm just going to keep this to a short video, unless you got any other questions about basic training, about the Army, about anything. I mean, if you want to sneak anything in there, I'll give it an awkward 20 seconds of filling. Okay, yes. Oh, this is a good question. So thank you, Jesus asked, after basic training, will you be taking your family with you? So since I'm in the PA National Guard, I'm actually not going to be moving. Once I'm done basic training, I'm going to be coming right back up to where I live, right outside of Philadelphia, and basically living life as normal, except for 1 weekend a month and 2 weeks out of a year. So I won't be, if there's ever a deployment or anything like that, like if I have to go overseas for 6 months or so, 9 months, they wouldn't be coming with me at that point, so they would be staying behind. But yeah, I'll be living in my same place I live now. This time 4 months from now. So the family will, they won't be coming with me to South Carolina. They'll stay here, and then I'll rejoin them afterwards. Yeah. So that'd be good. Yep. So thank you for those questions. A lot of great questions. Thank you for asking them. Glad I did this so I can get all the questions out ahead of time, because not a lot of people know about the National Guard. Like, I didn't know anything about it this time last year. Didn't know anything about it. So yeah, definitely can be confusing. Yeah. But yeah, everybody, thank you for the questions. Definitely appreciate them. And you being curious what's going on. Yeah. So I think with all that being said, I think I'll probably sign off. Yep. I'm going to keep this to a short video. So thank you, everyone. Like I said, again, consider subscribing to the channel. That way you'll know when I'm back. Follow me on social media, Twitter and Facebook. Check out the new blog. I got a bunch of articles that are hopefully very rude and insulting to as many people as possible, and as few words as possible. That's always the goal. And yeah, with that, God bless. Keep me in your prayers. I really appreciate that, especially for my family as well. I'm going to miss my cute squishy baby and my cute squishy wife very, very much. So yeah, we will pray for you, and we will miss you, brother. Thank you. I appreciate it very much. All right. With that, good night, everyone. Thank you so much for watching this, and I will see you in August.